In our lifetime, we absorb facts, information, and skills. We get our theoretical and practical understanding through education and experience. It's called knowledge. Welcome to television's longest-running high school quiz show, Knowledge Bowl. Let's join two of our 16 competing Northeast Michigan high schools and our host, Astrid Fitzpatrick, for today's match.
Hello, welcome to Knowledge Bowl, Michigan's longest-running quiz show. I'm your host, Astrid Fitzpatrick. Today our game is between AuGres and Ogemaw Heights. We'll start by introducing our teams, beginning with AuGres.
Dominic Lutz, junior.
Caden Anthony, sophomore.
Gabe Beardsley, freshman.
Ramsey Fortin, sophomore.
Connor Roble, sophomore.
And they're joined by their coach, Kathy Macheski. And our team from Ogemaw Heights?
Andrew Walk, junior.
Brittany Codron, sophomore.
Cowan Finkbeiner, freshman.
CJ Gillette, freshman.
And they're joined by their coach, Andrew Barna. I'd also like to thank our judges for being here today, Matthew Fitzpatrick and Joey Griskowiak. Our first round is the toss-up round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
Round 1 is a toss-up format. A question will be asked, and the first competitor to ring in has the opportunity to answer the question. If a correct answer is given, the team is awarded 10 points. No consulting is allowed. If the answer is incorrect, then the question goes to the opposing team to answer.
All right, let's get started. What name is given to the depression on either side of a wave crest? Dominic?
A trough.
That's correct. Going outdoors frequently is supposed to minimize the effects of what time zone air travel disorientation?
Jet lag.
That's correct. Perspicuity is the quality of being clearly understood. You can show your perspicuity by spelling perspicuity. Right, the correct answer was Perspicuity. Sounds heard in the forest at night were supposedly made by a certain Greek god. From this superstition arose what expression for fear? Dominic?
Panic.
That's correct. The famous painting, The Death of Marat, shows the crisp, hard lines that so exemplify the style of Jacques-Louis David. This famous painter was also the official artist for a world leader whose portrait he painted several times. Name the 19th century leader. The correct answer was Napoleon. Small worlds full of tiny forms of life at the sea's edge are A, lagoons, B, tide pools, C, swamps, or D, backwaters.
Tide pools.
That's correct. What was Woodrow Wilson's 14th point? The correct answer was the adoption of the League of Nations. During the second half of the 19th century, almost every woman's wardrobe included this device to be worn under her skirt.
No.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Puffing it out in the back while allowing the front to lie flat. What was this item called? And the correct answer was a bustle. What is the formula for potassium nitrate? Andrew?
KNO3.
That's correct. Segment OP is a radius of a circle with center 0. Line PR is tangent to the circle at point P. How many degrees are there in angle OPR? Andrew?
90.
That's correct. When a baby wallaby stays with its mother, where exactly does it live until it can care for itself? Ramsey?
The mother's pouch.
That's correct. In what century did Sir Isaac Newton publish his law of inertia?
16th century.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Caden?
The 14th century.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer is the 17th century. In a daycare center with 80 children, there are 48 girls. What is the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls? Dominic?
3-2.
That's correct. Name the only latitude line that is a great circle. CJ?
The Arctic Circle.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Dominic?
The equator.
That's correct. The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame is a story about talking beasts. Which is the conceited friend? Toad, mole, water rat, or badger? Ramsey?
Toad.
That's correct. If you were going to Bermuda, would you have a shorter trip if you went from Houston to New York to Bermuda, Houston to Miami to Bermuda, or Houston to Charleston, South Carolina to Bermuda? Ramsey?
Houston to Miami.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Colin?
It's to South Carolina.
That's correct. He tried to devise one all-embracing system of knowledge which would include everything known to man. His former pupil, Alexander the Great, sent him collections of plants from all over the known world to help him in his study of botany. Name this Greek philosopher.
Aristotle.
That's correct. Shays' Rebellion took place in Massachusetts. Where did Nat Turner's slave insurrection occur? Andrew?
South Carolina.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Ramsey?
Pennsylvania.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer is Virginia. What did physician William Harvey discover about the human body?
DNA.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. AuGres? Okay, the correct answer is how the blood circulates. What are carcinogens? Andrew?
Cancerous causing things.
That's correct. Okay. Arrange these four famous composers in chronological order. Peter Tchaikovsky, Franz Schubert, Henry Purcell, and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. The correct answer was Purcell, Mozart, Schubert, and Tchaikovsky. A single letter accompanied by a number is associated with the insulation value of materials designed to resist heat exchange. What is this letter? Ramsey?
H.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Ogemaw? Brittany?
C.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was R. What mission established in 1776 is California's oldest? Caden?
YMCA.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Ogemaw?
St.
Colin?
Mary's.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer is San Juan Capistrano. The Supreme Court has the right to declare acts of Congress unconstitutional. The precedent for this principle of American jurisprudence is enunciated by the Supreme Court in what case? And the correct answer was Marbury versus Madison. That's all we have for our first round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. All right, welcome back. So far we've got AuGres with a score of 70 and Ogemaw with a score of 50. Our next round is the bonus round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
This is the bonus round. It consists of toss-up questions, as in round 1. However, this is the twist. The team answering correctly then gets 4 bonus questions. For each question answered correctly, a series of points will be awarded. Team members can consult, but only the team captain can answer the question. After an incorrect answer, the toss-up portion begins again for both teams.
All right, let's get started. A student walks to school at a rate of 2 miles per hour and follows the same path home at 4 miles per hour. What is his average speed for the round trip? Dominic?
3 miles an hour.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Ogemaw? Brittany?
3.5.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The answer we were looking for was 2 2/3 miles per hour. Some chemical compounds, such as rubber and plexiglass, consist of relatively large molecules whose structure compromises many repetitions of a relatively small group of atoms. What is the chemical term for such compounds? Andrew?
Isomerization.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. AuGres? Yeah, the correct answer was polymers. 16 battleships were dispatched by President Theodore Roosevelt on a trip round the world to display American sea power. What was this flotilla called?
Fleet.
Okay. Sorry, that's incorrect. Ogemaw? And the correct answer was the Great White Fleet. What Barrier Island national seashore earned the nickname Graveyard of the Atlantic because of the more than 1,200 ships that have foundered there? Andrew?
Bermuda.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. AuGres? The correct answer was Cape Hatteras National Seashore in North Carolina. What's the word for a letter addressed by the Pope to his bishops on important questions? The correct answer was encyclical. Nathan Cook died at the age of 106. He was the oldest known U.S. war veteran and the last survivor of what war?
World War II.
Sorry, that's incorrect. AuGres? Ramsey?
World War One.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was the Spanish-American War. In his acceptance speech for his 1992 Emmy Award, Beau Bridges made a plug for the Brady Bill. What is the main focus of this bill? The correct answer was gun control. One of Abraham Lincoln's nicknames in the years just before he became a lawyer was rail splitter. What were split rails used to make? Ramsey?
Train tracks.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Ogemaw? CJ?
Ships.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer is fences. Which film was not based on a Pulitzer Prize winning novel? The Old Man and the Sea, Presumed Innocent, Ironweed, To Kill a Mockingbird, or The Caine Mutiny? CJ?
Kill a Mockingbird.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. AuGres? Ramsey?
Ironweed.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was Presumed Innocent. High-density lipoproteins and low-density lipoproteins are sometimes referred to respectively as good and bad what? CJ?
Cholesterol.
That's correct. Okay. Identify the diseases transmitted by each of the following arthropods. Tsetse fly. The correct answer was the African sleeping sickness. The space shuttle, communication satellites, and the moon all go around the Earth. Which one of those objects has the slowest orbital speed? Dominic?
The space shuttle.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Ogemaw? CJ?
The moon.
That's correct. Okay, these questions are about left. What does left mean in the context of boxing?
Or hook. Jab.
Judges? Okay, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Correct answer we were looking for was a blow from the left hand. Does nettle mean the same as annoy, ruffle, distress, or provoke? Dominic?
Ruffle.
Sorry, that's incorrect. CJ?
Provoke.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was annoy. Heavy coats of oil varnish put on at the end of the finishing process give what leather its gloss? The correct answer was patent leather. Native to Mexico, which pear-shaped green fruit is a hardy member of the laurel family? Caden?
Avocado.
That's correct. Okay, these questions are about British kings. Among the many kings to rule England were three named the Elder, the Martyr, and the Confessor. What first name did they share?
Edward.
Edward.
That's correct. Two Scots brothers were monarchs at the same time. Edward was king of Ireland and Robert the king of Scotland. What was their last name?
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Correct answer was Bruce. The Thin Blue Line is the title of a noted documentary. What does the phrase refer to? An EEG reading, the police, the Eastern Horizon, the Mexican-American War, or the British royal family? Caden?
The police.
That's correct. Okay, these are about triangles. If the vertex angle of an isosceles triangle is 150 degrees, what is the side of each of the other two angles?
15.
That's correct. The angles of a triangle are in the ratio of 3 to 3 to 4. What is the largest angle of the triangle? Sorry, that's incorrect. Correct answer was 72 degrees. Near which city was the Astronaut Hall of Fame dedicated in May 1990? Andrew?
Houston.
Sorry, that's incorrect. AuGres? Ramsey?
Los Angeles.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was Cape Canaveral. A magic square is an array of integers in which the sum of each column, row, and diagonal is the same. Now, if the first two rows of a 3 by 3 magic square are 8, 1, and 6 over 3, 5, and 7, what three numbers appear in the bottom row? The correct answer was 4, 9, and 2. That's all we have for our second round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. Okay, welcome back. So far we've got AuGres with a score of 100 and Ogemaw Heights with a score of 70. Our next round is the 60-second round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
This is our 60-second round. The team with the lowest score selects from one of the 4 categories of 10 questions. The team that has 60 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. Each correct answer is worth 10 points. Any missed questions will then be answered by the opposing team. An additional 20-point bonus is awarded for answering all 10 questions correctly.
All right, we're starting with Ogemaw Heights, who's chosen the category Double Trouble. What is a pair of interlocking pans used to gently heat food?
Double burner.
I'm sorry, what?
Double burner. B-U.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Yep.
What is the fastest marching pace used by the U.S. Army troops?
Double time. You say answer. What's it called?
Double time.
Double time.
That's correct. What's defined as a moral code more lenient for men than women?
Double standard.
That's correct. What common bookkeeping method involves debits and credits?
Double system.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Some acrobats have this characteristic, permitting an exceptional degree of freedom of motion.
Double jointed.
That's correct. A man's coat with a double row of buttons and a single row of buttonholes.
Double-breasted. Double-breasted.
Double breasted.
That's correct. What is the largest and deepest tone of the woodwind instruments?
Double trouble.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
It's down.
And AuGres, what common bookkeeping method involves debits and credits?
Double booking. Maybe.
Double booking.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. And what is the largest and deepest tone of the woodwind instruments?
Double bass.
Double bass.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. And we'll move on to AuGres, chosen the category government. Document ratified June 21st, 1787.
Constitution.
That's correct. Andrew Jackson's Kitchen of Advisors.
The cabinet.
That's correct. Procedure to end a filibuster.
Anyone? Pass.
Northerner who went south after the Civil War.
Pass.
Any person running for political office.
Candidate.
Candidate.
That's correct. Trails that political hopefuls hang on to. Sorry, tales that political hopefuls hang on to.
Pass.
Adjustment of opposing principles such as that of 1850.
Pass.
Limitation of powers of 3 branches of government.
Checks and balances.
That's correct. State of political and military tension between USSR and the West.
Cold War.
That's correct. And aliens get naturalized to achieve this step. Okay. And Ogemaw. Procedure to end a filibuster.
We don't know.
Okay. A Northerner who went south after the Civil War.
Carpetbagger.
That's correct. Tales that political hopefuls hang on to.
I don't know what you're saying.
Coattails.
That's correct. An adjustment of opposing principles such as that of 1850. All right, and that's all we have for our third round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. Okay, welcome back. So far we've got AuGres with a score of 150, and Ogemaw Heights very closely behind with a score of 140. Our last round is a toss-up round, just like the first round, so we'll go ahead and get started. Researchers have been testing Viagra in the Andes to see if it can be useful in treating and preventing what illness relating to living in, CJ?
Altitude sickness.
That's correct. The Gulf of Sidra is off the coast of what country? Dominic?
Italy?
Sorry, that's incorrect. Ogemaw?
Spain.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer is Libya. What is the greatest value that the trig function y equals sine x can assume? Andrew?
1.
That's correct. John Brown led a group of vigilantes on Harper's Ferry in Virginia. Who was the military commander who captured John Brown and his followers at Harper's Ferry?
Alexander Hamilton. Alexander.
Sorry, that's incorrect. AuGres? And the correct answer was Colonel Robert E. Lee. Identify the French artist who painted Woman in Blue. Andrew?
Monet.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. AuGres? Caden?
Van Gogh.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer is Matisse. The Victoria Terminus Railway Station and the Majestic Gateway of India Monument are landmarks in what city? Ramsey?
New York City.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Ogemaw? Colin?
Delhi.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Correct answer was Bombay. Let's see if you can detect the two grammatical errors in the following sentence. Irregardless of whom accepts, I want you to be the first one invited. And the correct answer was irregardless should be regardless, and whom should be who. Staphylococcus is the word Stephanie Pettit spelled correctly to win the 1987 National Spelling Bee. How do you spell Staphylococcus? The correct answer was Staphyloccocci. Though Shakespeare said misery makes sense, a popular saying says politics does. What is the expression in this question? And the correct answer was strange bedfellows. Parmentier refers to dishes prepared with what vegetable? Ramsey?
Green beans.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Andrew?
Rice.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer is the potato. What's the pitch of a roof with a height of 6 feet and a span of 24 feet? CJ?
4/1.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. AuGres? Ramsey?
5.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was 1/2. What was the name for the system of coded military controls used in bombers of the Strategic Air Command? Brittany? I'm sorry, that's incorrect. AuGres? The correct answer was failsafe. When Mendel set up charts to show inherited characteristics, how did he represent a recessive trait? Dominic?
A lowercase letter.
That's correct. Reading maketh a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. Give me the full name of the Elizabethan writer who represented the first union of the man of science and the man of letters in English literature. He is also regarded as the first essayist in English literature. The correct answer was Francis Bacon. In orbit, the space shuttle travels at an average speed of 17,500 miles per hour at an average distance of 200 miles above the Earth's surface. Approximately how long does it take the shuttle to complete one full orbit of the Earth? CJ?
80 minutes.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. AuGres? Ramsey?
120 minutes.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was an hour and a half or 93 minutes. Recast this line into a familiar Shakespearean quotation. Disjointure is such dulcet contrition. The correct answer was parting is such sweet sorrow. What is the area of a rhombus whose diagonals are 8 and 10? And the correct answer was 40. To which family of birds do the sapsuckers belong? Caden?
Hummingbird.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Ogemaw? CJ?
Woodpeckers.
That's correct. And that's all we have for our final round. We'll be right back with the final scores. Hey, welcome back. Our final scores are AuGres with 160 and Ogemaw with 170. So congratulations to our winners today from Ogemaw Heights. Join us next week when we'll have Standish versus Rogers City. And I'll leave you with a quote from Carl Jung: knowledge lies not in truth alone, but in error also. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's why they put the little erasers on pencils. Have a nice day.